All right, hello, wine drinking people. We are back. And sorry we missed some of the segments. So last week, Ask Ward, we just couldn't find a politically correct question to ask him last week. But we're going to get a good one this week.
What is the best wine to purchase for investments?
Let's see. I would say first growth Bordeaux's. All right, we got Chateau Latour this week also, baby. We got the 1928, 66, 75, 82, 85, 86, 89, and a few other friends going down from Chateau Latour on Friday night. We still got a few spaces left for that. Saturday, our Madeira tasting. Man, the wines are already open, folks. And whether it's just 6, 7, 5, I don't know how many people are already signed up. I think it's like 6. We're taking down the rest of these Madeiras Saturday night here at the Wine Watch. And then a slew of events for you next week. We just added Chateau Valandrode to the lineup here at the store on Tuesday night. Wednesday night, we got our Southern Rhone tasting. That's the subject of this email. And then a lot of other great stuff. Check it out on our calendar of events throughout the month of January, February, March. Man, we have got a lot of drinking to do here. But hey, it's time for what I drank yesterday. And we did a lot of drinking here in the store yesterday. We started out with Wendy from the Hess Estates Wines with Katie. And these two ladies had some really lovely stuff. You know, the Hess Collection Winery, Napa Valley, one of the pioneers. And some great stuff from that winery. But they've also got a collection of wines from around the world. And they're all worthy of being in my store. All right. Peter Lehmann, one of the great wineries of the Barossa Valley. We had a wine called Layers, which this is what I call a train wreck white, folks. And it's not that I don't like the white, that I don't like the wine, because it was nice. And it's just a blend that you wouldn't normally see put together. Semillon, Muscat, Gewürztraminer, Chardonnay, and Pinot Gris. Really, the wine had very little identity, but again, it did taste all right. Actually, it smelled a little bit like Riesling to me. It had a little bit of a petrol notes and white flowers. Lychee nuts, peaches, apricots, and really well balanced on the tongue, though. Had a nice fresh finish, and just, you know, one of my favorite things in the world, train wreck white blends. All right, next up we had a wine called So Be It, Pinot Noir. And, all right, enough about the name. Anderson Valley, a great area for making Pinot Noir. And this was a really nice little wine. The handiwork of Grape Wagon Corporation is what it says on the label. Is this another name for Hess? I guess they just want to kind of, you know, use another name for this wine. I don't know, a little confusing. And they didn't want James McPhail's wine to be associated with this because he's the winemaker for Sequana, and this is a little lower price point. But man, a great little wine. And looking at my notes on Sequana, the next wine, which is a Dutton Ranch wine, which is a few dollars more, man, I almost like this wine just as much. Maybe a little lighter, had this lovely raspberry fruit though, really kind of similar similar nose to this wine, but maybe a little gamier, a little earthier, and really nice floral notes also, but very appealing on the tongue and lovely freshness. And again, that little gamey character, smoky character coming in on the finish. A really nice little Pinot for 21 bucks. The Sequana, the Roman goddess of the river that runs through Burgundy. This is purchased fruit, and James is the winemaker here. We're allowed to say that in this case. And there's a nice smoky and earthy flavor to this wine. Like I said, a similar kind of nose to the So It Be Pinot Noir, but maybe a little more intense, and really nice stuff here. A little smoky, earthy quality also. A wine that reminded me a lot of Pinot Noir, which is good when you're drinking Pinot Noir, and exotic spices, lovely freshness on the finish. A couple of steps up, definitely, from the So Be It wine. All right, next, some stuff from Hess Collection, and this is a winery up on Mount Veeder, and Donald Hess was one of the first people to develop this area, and in the early 70s, and this wine has got a lot of that mountain characteristics: fresh earth, dark cocoa, fresh plowed earth, and dried herbs. Some lovely red currant and cherry berry fruit here. Really nice, fairly complex nose, smooth and polished on the palate, with a nice hand of currant and cherry fruit. Good stuffing and distinct minerality. Hess, a pretty reliable winery here. The Mount Veeder Cabernet, and really, we got a great price on these wines, man. Under $40 on sale. Wow. All right, next up we had the 19 Blanc Cuvee, and this was another Mount Veeder wine, but it's got a little Syrah in the blend, a lovely bouquet here with some dried mushroom and tobacco nuance to the red berry fruits, and really nice and distinct on the nose and on the palate also. Really nice little wine, and I like the Syrah in these Cabernet blends. Really helps to make the wine a little more forward and seductive there. But really nice. All right, great stuff from the Hess collection this morning. And then on to wines from Unfiltered with Harley. And the Lockhart wines, not the reason I get out of bed in the morning. You know, $10 California appellation wines. Bremerton, Tamblyn, Langhorn Creek, Australian wine. This is a nice little wine. A lot of distressed property out there from Australia at $25.50. A Shiraz, Malbec, Merlot blend with Cabernet being the majority of the blend. And really nice eucalyptusy, minty notes. Your telltale signs it's from Australia. Blackberry jam-like fruit, dark chocolate, and espresso notes. Really nice layers of black spice on the finish. A decent little wine. We expect more from this from Australia when they're giving stuff away. The next wine, the Cooper Burn Shiraz. Wow, this is great stuff from the Barossa Valley. Excellent little wine. Espresso, bittersweet chocolate on the nose, blackberry, blueberry fruits, some eucalyptusy notes on there also. Really jammy, really dark spices in there. Espresso, dark chocolate, your telltale signs that it's Barossa Valley to me, and wonderfully dense and packed on the palate as well. A really nice little wine, liqueur-like fruits, dark spices, and excellent little wine at half the regular price, $25 on sale. This is a great little wine and a great value. Next up, Abelis Carthago from Toro, and this is a wine. We got the Fighting Bulls in the store, which we've been selling the heck out of at $37.50. This is the Crianza, the kind of middle wine in this tier from the winery, and great stuff here. Really nice. Maybe not quite as concentrated as that Fighting Bulls, a little bit lighter, not quite as much oak. This is 40-year-old vines, not 100-year-old vines, but you get that fresh plowed earth, the soil, the leathery saddle kind of character you get from Toro wines. Really lovely wild strawberry jam-like fruits, and an excellent little wine, nicely concentrated, but about half the concentration and complexity of the Fighting Bulls wine. All right, next up, the greatest wine from Canada that I've ever had. Does that take away some of its greatness? Well, not necessarily. These wines are great, and really, you know, when you look at this winery, man, the picture of it, the guy behind this, the money behind this, created Mike's Hard Lemonade. I mean, he was in the Tutti Frutti fruit wine cooler business before the wine cooler business got hot in this country up in Canada, and really, you know, one of these visionary type people, businessmen, and he had the vision for this property. He's been working on it, I think, for the last 30 years, and hey, just goes to show you, man, with enough money and the will, you can make great wine anywhere. And if you told me I'd be touting wine from Canada yesterday before I came to work, man, I would have said you're crazy. But hey, Pandora Anwell represents this. We don't expect anything less from you, Pandora. These wines from Mission Hill, I mean, really nice little wines. The Sauvignon Blanc and the Chardonnay, I mean, you know, I was getting ready to be disappointed after tasting those two. But the Merlot showed some signs, you know, a really nice wine, some herbaceous notes to it, what I expect from Merlot, plummy, jammy fruits, and maybe just a little lean and tart on the finish here. But it had some nice stuffing in it, and a good wine. But the Syrah is world class. It's coming from this winery, and really thick plum and black cherry fruit, fresh plowed earth, mixed herbs, and the fresh black pepper also on the nose. Really Northern Rhone-esque, but had some lovely velvety tannins with this wine, some great structure, a really nice Syrah, excellent wine, and at the same price of the Merlot, man, there's no question where my money is going with this winery. And then their top wine, Oculus, which is a Latin word meaning view or vision, which obviously, like I said, we've got some vision here going on, 30 years in the makings. This wine was a blend of Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, and Petit Verdot. A really rich and decadent bouquet here, man. You put your nose in the glass, cigar box spice, black plums, black cherries. Really, this wine was great from anywhere, and I don't think anyone at Brown Bag would have guessed this wine was from British Columbia. Well, I guess if you know the Okanagan Valley, this is you know, Canada's finest wine region, and this is supposedly 2 degrees warmer than Napa Valley in the summer. And hey, it's colder in the winter, sure. It's Canada. And you know what else they make great in Canada? Ice wine. And I was expecting the ice wine to be good, but man, there are very few dessert wines that I've had that are better than the ice wines coming out of this winery. Lovely honeyed peach and apricot fruit, incredible richness and concentration in these wines, and had some very distinct stone-like mineral flavors to them as well. Really complex and long on the finish. I mean, some of the most exciting dessert wines that I've had this year or ever. The Riesling Ice Wine, 5 Vineyards in 187. The only problem I have with this wine is it's not big enough. The bottle is too small. But hey, if you drink enough of them, and at this price, under $20 a bottle, hey, I know they're 187s, but it is expensive to make ice wine. Have you heard of freezing the grapes? What freezes? The water freezes, and that means you make a lot less wine. The grapes are already shriveled, so a really expensive prospect to make ice wine. And I would put these wines, like I said, up against the greatest ice wines of Germany, or the other side of Canada, the Niagara Peninsula, the Inniskillen wines, which we have in the store. And, well, the prices on those have come down a little bit, but still, these wines, awesome stuff. All right, folks, that's what I had to drink yesterday. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasone, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.